So let's bring yourself up sitting with soles of the feet pressed together. If this gets into your hips, take 2 yoga blocks or anything you can find in your house and prop up your knees so there's not so much weight hanging in your joints. But if you're strong enough to do it without blocks, you'll find that strength by pressing the soles of your feet together and letting that have a sense of it keeping your thigh bones into center so the weight of you sitting doesn't spread out. Press together. Hold at the knees. You're going to start pulling and scooping the abs in and up, curling the tail under, find a nice, easy C curve, bending flexion in your spine. Then you're going to feel as if your head gets heavy, and you're going to let your head lead towards the feet, bringing you back on top of your sits bones. You're going to keep those feet pressed together. Inhale as you stack up, pressing into the root of your hips, lifting chest before head, the head is last. And again, on an exhale, press together and curl tail under, scoop and pull pubic bone back. Let it be a nice stretch in between your shoulder blades as your spine rounds. Head comes heavy as you dive forward, rocking you on top of those femur bones, rocking the socket on the ball in those hips. Find the root down in the hips, lift through the front body. Head is last. After shoulders. One more time. Exhale. Feel your center contract. More than just your belly button. Feel right and left and pull up under the curve over that brings you forward. And a stacking up. Find the root pressing together. Lift, lift, lift. Now, find the left pelvis. Right, touch it if you gotta. Find that left pelvis. And as you exhale, you're going to pull that left pelvis back, causing you to twist, causing your butt to roll on the floor. It's okay, let it roll. And now you're going to find that right pelvis and you're going to pull it back. And then you're going to find the left pelvis pull forward, right pelvis pull forward. Okay, now my right side is facing the couch here. And I'm going to pull the right side back and it makes me twist. As I pull the left side back, it's going to bring me back into that C curve for a moment. Keep pressing those soles of the feet together and hold with the hands. Now the right hip's going to pull forward, and then the left pelvis pulls forward. And again, left pelvis pulls back. Find your breath. Exhale as you swoop back through that curve. Left pelvis forward, right pelvis forward. Lead with the right side, pulling back. And then back with the left, forward with the right, and let that rolling action happen across the pelvis. Let it roll up through your shoulder blades. Let it feel good. Speaking of those shoulders, take shoulder blades up. Have a pull on those knees to keep thinking. Lift, exhale, let them down. Right? Notice my legs move with me because I am pulling. And then as I exhale, I keep the length that you see growing in my spine. I don't fall back down. Inhale, lift. Let your shoulder blades rise. It's okay. It's okay. Let them up. Let your ribs splay. It's okay. Exhale. Easy down. Now take that left shoulder, lift it, lift it, lift it. Feel it want to zip up that whole side of your body. And as you roll the shoulder back, take a small twist, letting it bring your head around and then come back center. And now that right shoulder, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it. And as you roll it back, let it open that right chest. Let it take a little bit of a spiral for you to look over to the right and come back center. Do that again with the left. And I'm still pulling, using strength to feel it lift my front body, feel my side body pull me around, maybe a little bit more spiral, maybe you see behind you. And back forward, right shoulder, lift it up. Let the whole shoulder girdle slide and bring the rib cage. Bring the cervical. Can you see behind you? Come back center, going back into that curl of the tail under that we started with. Pull whole front of the pelvis back and up. Curl, tail, scoop it under. Head dives forward. And then you're going to stack up tall, press from the hips. Bring it up. Now, lead with the head down towards those feet. Feel the moment where your ribs change. Dive over. Let your hands slide to your ankles if you can. All right, if you've got that in your hips. Now, instead of pulling back to stack up on your sits bones, you're going to think of finding where the back of your pelvis can reach and you stack your spine up in line with where that lumbar is all the way to the head. All right, I moved my arms to show you the line, but really you should have a pull to help bring the line up through your chest. And then you're going to pull the whole line back, which is opening up the front of your hips just a little bit, right? Now you're going to go back over. Lead with the head. Let the hands move. Let it curve. It's a spine stretch forward with a little bit of rock the pelvis. Now, don't start in your mid-back and just pick up. Think of really pressing into that root and then lifting your sacrum up out of where can you stack each vertebra. Thinking of pull straps and T into that mid-back to lift the weight of the chest, neck, head. And then as I exhale, front body zips, allowing my back body to pull me back on top. Going over, front body contracting, stretching back body over. The pelvis is allowed to tip to let you get a little bit more, which should be a lot of stretch through your groin, back, under, outer, hips, thighs, the good stuff, right? And then you're going to start by finding, where's my sacrum? Where exactly is it? And you can see I'm kind of hanging forward off of it right now. So I can't really pick up. That's a lot of strain right there. So I'm going to pull my pelvis back just a little bit. So now I can find a place where my back has strength to come on top of it versus strain, right? And pull back. Your back muscles should be on fire and awake. Last one, but it should not be strain, right? You know what strain is. Strain hurts. Strain sucks, right? But you do want to feel this power. Notice that roll in my pelvis coming through my groin in front of the hips more. I'm giving us press and pull, pressing the feet together and pulling it into me to help lift and bring it back up. By now, your hips should be pretty bitter. So we're going to find that inward rotation, adduction to come up. And squeeze together. Let your front of the hips notice that happening, right? Because you've just been so externally rotated. And if you need to, press inward with your own arms. In fact, not even if you need to, just press inward with your arms. Thanks. And find where your exhale still zips. And you may have to take your feet out farther. You may not make it all the way in. You may have to have your legs apart a little bit. But find the difference between an external rotation of the femur and now looking for inward rotation parallel. Going inward to almost a knock knee and up. If your legs are apart, if your legs are together, go ahead and pull them apart now and find where your inner thighs inwardly rotate. And back open. One more. And you could start to feel that in your back a little bit too if you're keeping it tall. So we're going to take your feet wider. As wide as your mat, maybe on the outside of your mat. Hands down behind you, which is going to lean you back into the strength of your back. Pull your front body up and open. Start by inwardly rotating. I'm going to start with my left leg so you can see it. Inwardly rotating one thigh. There's only so far you can go, right? Then let that start to carry the weight of the pelvis as you go over. Go as far as you can. You're looking for feelings up this open side, but you want to make sure that the side you've twisted into, which for me is my right side, is strong, ready to receive that weight. And I'm going to exhale, pull pelvis back to center, making my thigh bones have to rotate and shift. Now, starting it from my right inner thigh, inwardly rotating, taking the weight of the pelvis to let the lumbar spiral, keep the chest lifted, press into those strength of those arms. Exhale, pull the pelvis back, come back center. Now let's take that a little bit. Over, and exhale, come back. Inhale, let it twist and reach, and exhale, come back. And if your twist is small, if your twist is in this range, that's fine. But let it be a shifting of the thighs and the pelvis to cause the pelvis to initiate movement in your lumbar. Okay? You can't move your lumbar without mobilizing your pelvis. Whether it's to just walk forward, right? You have to mobilize inside the pelvis. And last one. And let that come back center. Grab back a hold of those knees. Nice, easy, open legs. But you're still going to help pull yourself up. One arm lifts. You're going to take a full rotation all the way through the cervical, through the thoracic, through the lumbar. And then you're going to put a little bit of weight back on that arm as you lift the opposite hand up. Now watch this diagonal. I've got right arm up, so my left leg's going to stretch, and it's going to let me push off of and get a little bit more spiral. Come back. and all the way up. All right. We're going to do that same side again. Okay. All right. So that was my left arm lift and my left arm twist, because this is now challenging your brain to work contralaterally, one side to the other, right? Right arm up, left leg reaches. How much does that spiral keep going? You have to make room in the front of this left arm and chest. If you collapse in it, you can't keep twisting, right? And then, retrograde the articulation, pull back into the spine, back out of that rotation. And up one more, same side, left arm, reach, plant it down. It eventually could take you all the way up and over. Should you feel it? Should you feel it? Then you felt it. And up now, 3 to the right. Twist, set it down. It's opposite arm in the air to straight leg on the floor. Reach, make room in your waist for the twist. Back center, pulling it all back up out of the ground. Reach, twist. Open that line. Keep reaching through the toes on the floor. Back center and up. One more. Do you feel it in you to press down on that foot? And reach up. Good job. Pull it back. It's literally one of my favorite things to do in the entire world. And now you're ready to take your roll down all the way through that C curve. Let the arms reach back. Don't even think about it. Circle the arms around, come right back up. If you got to grab and pull, but do your best to come through center, right? To not lean to one side, okay? And roll back. And if you've got scoliosis, it's not that you're leaning to one side. You just got to ride your scoliosis, okay? More on that later. Circling around and roll yourself up. Let's come up to a nice tall spine. Right? Let the arms lift at the top. The higher the arms, the heavier they are. As you come into that contraction to find the rounding, challenge yourself to keep your arms up. Challenge it to keep them up and find how you contract to control coming down into the floor. Let the circling of the arms press back into center, pulling right into left, scooping to come up. Take a tall spine. One last one. Contract to control the articulation and the weight. Arms press round. Circle into center. Lift. Straighten one leg. Straighten the other. Flex both feet. And take an easy spine stretch forward. Contract. Reach out over the legs, not down to the toes. Reach out over them. Stack up. Point the feet. Twist. Opening the arms front and back, come back up, flex the feet, point, twist, reach, and come back up. Spine stretch forward, take it through. And bring it back up. And point the feet as you twist and open the chest, and come back up, twist, open the chest. One more set, and take it over. And bring it up. Twist, point the feet, and come up. Twist, point the feet, and up. Shake the legs together. Shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them, shake them. Drop the arms. And just kind of wiggle for a minute, because like that was like a lot of things. Like let it wiggle, let it wiggle, let it wiggle. Plant the feet. Roll it back. Pull your knees to your chest. Give a little wiggle side to side, right? As if you could even like toss the weight of your legs side to side and let it feel it rock your pelvis. Let it feel it easily rotate your low back. Let it easily rotate up into your chest, making it even feel like your head kind of could go in opposite direction from your knees. You can plant your arms so that you can help with this, right? Head in opposite direction from your knees. So you're getting a full spiral. That's easy and passive. You can make this movement as big as you want. You could go all the way over. Oh, but you didn't have to come all the way back. Yeah, You could go all the way over. Head in opposition. Try it, try it, try it. All the way back. And don't strain to twist the neck. Just let it move nice and easy within a range. See, I don't really need to be going to the floor. Like that's my max range right there. And back up. Because you want it to just be like you're wringing out your spine. Last one. Because it feels good. And then back up. Feet down onto the mat. Curl your tail, which tips your pubic bone back. Now, this is where we need to be sure that we're not pushing down Because if we want to lift our low back, why would we try to like shove it down into the floor? That makes no sense. So we're just going to roll back down, let that go. Now, I like to really find my sacrum. So if you think, just hold your back in one piece, press down in your feet, lift and drop your pelvis. Lift and drop, right? You should feel the back of your pelvis as a bony structure hit the floor, right? Right? I liken it to if you make brownies and you want to smooth the brownie batter out in the pan, you like thunk it on the counter and then it's like, smooth brownies, right? Smooth brownies, right? Yeah? Okay. So now my brain's like, dang, that's a lot of like structure down there. And that structure is going to shift from the pull of the abdominals in front to allow the lengthening of the lumbar into the strength of the hips, rolling, curling. Here's where if I want to go higher, if I want to lift that upper lumbar, L1, low thoracic, I'm going to need my arms, or I'm at least going to need this connection into my back and lateral ribs to keep coming up. And then here's the part you really need to think of, pulling the mat together underneath of you, right? To feel the front thighs reach out, you have to come together underneath of you. Ooh, hammies! Curl it down. Take 3 more at whatever tempo you want to whatever height you want. I like to actually kind of get through these because I don't love them that much, right? And pull. 2, 3, roll down. 2, 3, 2 more up. 2, 3, ooh, down. 2, 3. It just burns in that hammy in my trashy leg, so you know I need it, and down. 2, 3. Now stretch that out. Let the legs lengthen. You're tempted to take your leg up and like do a big hamstring stretch, right? But I want you to actually keep some tensity awake in those hamstrings back there. Here's why. Legs open the width of the mat, arms up open tall, right? Point the feet, let it wrinkle the mat, flex the feet, right? Feel the urge to want to let go. Don't let go. Point the feet, stay tall up too, as if you're pressing out of the floor to jump tall. And flex the feet, stand tall, stand strong. 1 more, right? And because your hamstrings are awake from that short lever action of bending the knee and opening the hips, right? They're like, we're here for you, keep that work. You're gonna curve up, pull into center, lift, all the way up tall to a straight spine, curl back, feel those legs and hamstrings staying strong so you can pull back away and still keep open the front of your hips. Right, last one, and the legs are wider. But because we did all that nice rotation, having this width actually helps you stand up because your spine is like, hey, we know where the middle is. We did all that rotating. All right, let that shake out. Come back to an easy cross of the legs, whichever feels the best, whichever leg you want to put in front. And just take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, listen to that ability to hear where your spine is and hear where your center is, much better than when you first sat down. And then let yourself just keep this easy lift up into space as you actually now go about the rest of your day or whatever you were doing before you took some time on your mat.